And I think that the medicalization of children is the perfect example of that. Something that's gone too far. And I don't think, the medicalization of children or the few pieces of legislation on gun control, which I voted against, or some of the medical freedom bills, which I supported, which tried to go after the pharmaceutical industry. Those are the three issues which people really have Jonah Wheeler's a Republican. He's a sellout because he supported those three issues. But you know what? I see those three issues as core democratic values. I see those three issues as a part of not necessarily just democratic values, but common sense values. They're nonpartisan issues where it's not about the Republican who sponsored it. It's about the text of the legislation. And so I don't see it as a political change.
I think people will look at that legacy of yours already, and I think that integrity that you showed in those decisions is going to pay off in the long run. And obviously, it seems like it's paying off already. But I think that record is going to people are going to know that you mean what you say and you say what you mean, and you're not going to go along with the party like you said in that speech that we played earlier. And I agree with you. I mean, the medicalization of children is one way to put it. Another way to put it is, sterilizing kids with puberty blockers potentially, and all these other health problems that come with, like weakening of bones and all these different things that can happen. If you think about it, before all this stuff happened, 20 years ago, I think a lot of people would think you're crazy to do something like that to kids if you brought that up. Like puberty blockers, like what, for any reason, unless it was life or death, seriously life or death. It's like you're going to block somebody's puberty for how long? And then, we can talk about potentially castrating them or cutting off their breasts. This sounds absolutely crazy if you think about it. Take a step out of the bubble for a second and think about it. And I think that was, I'm sure that was going through your head with some of this. I know what you mentioned was the reasoning was that you wanted to protect women in their spaces and women in sports, I believe, as well as what you said, but certainly in their spaces. And that's another one, because as we know as men with common sense, some men, if they can they can gain entry to a place, a private space of women and girls, just by saying, I'm a woman. That's all. So you have to let me in legally. I'm a woman now. Like, I could do that right now. And it's like, do you think there's not any of them that might be a pervert or a predator? Like, it's zero, absolutely zero. We already know the perverts and predators exist. So, and we know, feminists will teach everybody you can't trust men. Men are evil, toxic, whatever, or many men are. It's like, so what happens to those men who can just say, I'm a woman now, and that's all I have to say? It's just like, how does this not enter into your mind? And I remember seeing some of the ladies, especially mainly ladies, who were arguing with you. And she said, I remember one lady said, do you vote your conscience or do you vote with your constituents? And I'm just thinking, when I heard that, I'm like, do you think that everybody in every one of Jonah's constituents agrees with you? Like, that's what your implication is? Every single one of them agrees with you on this ridiculous, controversial topic that shouldn't even be, it should have never even been broached. It's just ridiculous to me.
That's the real point. The fact that we're even having this discussion in the legislature is crazy. And people who say, oh, this is your priority. No. I didn't sponsor this bill. I spoke on the bill because I gave a controversial vote. And I knew that in giving a controversial vote, I would want to speak to it so that people would know about it. And you're right. The people who said, oh, are you representing your constituents or your conscience? I'm representing my constituents. And that is the job of being a legislator. You're not there to represent one section of your constituents.
Exactly.
You're there to represent the minority views and the majority's views. And you're there to try to find as much as you can. You won't always succeed, but a balance between those two views. And that is what New Hampshire's HB 148 tried to do.